It's Dandadan, the show where we talk about Dandadan, a manga about the dum-de-dums. This week, I fell asleep while writing the script, and it's 4:43 at the time of recording this. My excuse? Well, I don't have one. This chapter was a gigantic reset, and I know for a fact some of you may not be down with this, but they are indeed doing the amnesia plot for one Momo Ayase. But I'll talk about later in the video for those who are on the fence or skeptical that this could actually be a major win for Momo and literally like everyone else's characters moving forward. So with all of that out of the way, and with you now properly teased, I challenge you to get this video to 350 likes, 25 new subs, and a big titty goth girlfriend GF for me, of course. Yes, this week's video has the return of the like challenge and me being degenerate again. So we pick up sometime after chapter 210. Momo seems to be having a dream of the ritual which took place to bring her back to Big Mo. She wakes up in bed and looks over to see that Vamola is sleeping right next to her, all splayed out. Something about her being a heavy sleeper, I don't know, that's just kind of real. Which, to be fair, makes sense. Vamola has so many people that she has to raise and parent these last couple of arcs that it's almost hilarious how she isn't one of those nannies on those nanny reality TV shows. Also, have you guys seen Vamola in the anime yet? Oh, perfect. She looks perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about her. And I can't wait for the next season to come out so we can, see what she looks like when she's animated and voiced properly. I'm just kind of hyped and happy. And while we're at it, what did you guys think about the anime overall now that it's over and we won't see season 2 or 3 or whatever the hell they're going to call it until 2027? There isn't much synergy between this channel and my main channel where I cover the anime, so I'm kind of glad I can ask that, honestly. But she walks through the hallways of the building to see that it is a very peaceful place. Everyone seems very comfortable, including the woman who greets Momo here. She's got that Ira Shiratori vibe to her in the face for sure, but acts more like a guide or someone who takes care of the place and its people. It also seems that under the gigantic robe she is wearing some business attire. You can see her slacks and a tie, which looks to be like daisies or flowers on it. Very cute, very charming. It also turns out that it is Seiko who made the reservations for this place. The charming lady then tells Momo that Seiko's at a hospital and ready at any moment for her to be taken there to see her. But this is where it is revealed that Momo doesn't know who Vamola is anymore. This is very sad, and I swear to God, they must keep all of this a secret from our Vamola. It would be DEFCON 1 if she were to get sad over this and do something like cry, or even reprimand Momo's memory via a good timeout in the timeout corner. Seriously though, this is going to be a massive turning point for Momo's character, because all of this, all it means is that we will not be getting the confession from Okarun and Momo to seal the deal. But I do think this may turn into something very special for the Dum-de-Dums. I'll tell you why in one moment after I finish downing these 70 lines of crack cocaine I laid out for myself this morning. So she heads to 201, where she finds that old bat Seiko, who is so freaking cranky. Like, God, how accurate is Seiko portrayed when she is in Betty White mode to just cranky old people? A lot, right? I mean, she's the spitting image of a cranky old person, but she calls the doctors quacks after Gigi is trying to calm her down and tells her that she can't eat due to her injuries. Also, what is she doing? What is this pose? What is this pose that she's in? Oh, this is great. I mean, Gigi sitting there while she has her foot propped up on the railing and her hands behind her head, just complaining as if she were a child not getting her way. Oh my God, this is so accurate to old people that I'm starting to think Seiko was just real and we don't know it yet. And if she is, I call dibs. So Momo calls Seiko an old bag, which is accurate, but also something I want to talk about because I think there is more to the sign that we need to dissect. We'll talk about it later in the video. Gigi sees Momo and immediately blushes as he is overwhelmed by seeing her back to her normal size. I imagine in his head, by the way, Marvin Gaye started playing and he just didn't know why. But they are all overcome with emotion, at least everyone in the room is, as Seiko gets up from her bed and embraces her granddaughter with a face only a granny could make, and Gigi does a thing too. But it seems that Momo doesn't recognize Gigi, and when she is told who he is, she freaks out as if he's ever seen him for the first time ever, which is funny because she hints. Which is funny because she points at him just like when she met Gigi for the first time again way back in the Evil Eye arc. In fact, you could see this entire scene as a mirror of that introduction. Very creative. Very much wow. However, we do get to see that Okarun is now training to use his chi, or ki, or whatever, just as Gigi did. While it was played up for comedic effect, and mother of Wilford Brimley, Jesus, is that Taro Sakamoto? It shows at least that Okarun may be in a couple more fights throughout this new saga and may not just be turbo granny-less and weak, but an actual fighter in his own right and shooting beams out of his hand. Either way, the chapter ends with Momo not believing anything they tell her, namely that she thinks aliens aren't real. Pretty interesting. You put Momo in a room with Tom DeLonge, and I guarantee you she will probably kill that fucker. So let's talk about this amnesia plot, because there were people who didn't want it, but I was thinking about this shortly before drifting off into blissful sleep. I think Tatsu has done this for a reason that is largely beneficial to everyone in the series from a character perspective and beneficial to us as the fans. The reason is largely because Tatsu has a knack for embracing these really simple cliches and then pile driving them on their head. By having Momo lose her memory due to amnesia, the storytelling kind of benefits. They're kind of insane. It's like a lot. For one, by doing this, we would have to put Okarun and Momo to the side, but we'll now be able to have Momo retain the crush on Gigi that she had previously. This could allow the two characters to explore their past, which they had already put behind them, well, at least Momo seemed to. This also gives Gigi's character closure, because if Momo now has those old feelings that she did for Gigi, then she is going to probably be angry at Gigi, but still relatively smitten with him, potentially. It's a fantastic way, honestly, for Gigi to get his moment where he gets to explain the guilt he could be carrying over bullying Momo and how that affected him later down the road in his life. I mean, who knows? While Gigi's family is pretty wild, maybe Gigi wasn't always like his mom and dad. Maybe he was a really hateful little shit, and maybe when he lost Momo, it was never the same and he got really nice. See, there are just so many flashbacks that we can have that unveil so much about how the past affects them all. And that fits in with this saga too, as it largely has been about exploring past themes, motifs, and historical settings. Quite oddly, a lot. What this also allows for is other characters to have some very cool moments too. Okarun gets to train his chi for when Momo's memory does return. After all, it's no sweat off his back if Momo acts the way she does, because eventually her memories should return. So he can just continue to be patient, and I think he will. And the conflict that we all know and love comes into play is how probably he will deal with Momo and Gigi if what I said does come to fruition. Because remember as well, Momo loves those Ken Takakura types, and Ken Takakura is Ken Takakura, so kind of just writes itself there. There are just so many cool little ways this helps out in developing their past and in turn their current characters, and it's just kind of cool. Namely, I think Momo's relationship with Seiko could change for the worst. As we know, Momo didn't have a great relationship with Seiko until right before the beginning of the series, if I'm remembering right. So we could see Momo, who doesn't know how to feel about Seiko, and therefore we could be getting a glimpse at Momo's mother and father and how they came to, well, not be. Because we don't know the finer granular details of that past, right? I mean, for Seiko, this would hurt a bit, but I think it also gives her a chance to do things the right way as well. Not that she didn't before, mind you, but you know what I mean. Also, this could mean Momo has no more powers until her memories return, and that's probably the biggest get out of all of this if it turns out to be true, because without Momo, who is probably, by the way, the most OP dum-de-dum of the goobers right now, without those powers, it means that they would have to rely on so much else. It is kind of crazy. Go back and look at all these arcs. Momo plays a huge role with her powers. But, you know, I also suspect a major turning point in this arc is probably the first time she remembers everything. She will then use her powers to probably save Okarun, Gigi, Ira, or Seiko. You may be asking, why do I have to put Ira in there? I don't know. I feel like I just needed to say her name. Oh, but what if it's Kenta, though? What if Momo secretly liked Kenta the entire time? Oh, that would be horrible. Either way, this chapter was awesome. I can't wait for next week because I'm actually really invested with this arc when with this chapter. It's really, I don't know. 60% in favor of it last week. That's kind of what my vibes are. Now I'm kind of like 90%, maybe even 95. So I'm really excited for all these cool and dumb moments to be had. If you enjoyed the video, check out this one on the screen for even more. Comment blue hearts in the comments below if you made it this far, and for the love of God, why haven't you joined my Discord server? Make it a great day or not, the choice. It is yours.